Hello and welcome to this video. I'm going to introduce you to some basic database concepts. I'm going to start with a database. What is a database? A database is basically a collection of organized information or data that is stored in a table. So let's take a look at an illustration of what a database looks like. So this is a basic illustration of a database. So a database stores information or data in a table. So this is basically a table, and a table consists of columns. The columns are the ones across in blue, and it also consists of rows. These rows are known as records. So each record is unique in a table. So we now know that a database stores information in a table. What is a table? A table basically stores information in rows and columns, just like in an Excel spreadsheet. So if we take a look at the illustration I showed you previously, we can see that this is a database that consists of a table, and the table has information in rows and columns. So these rows are horizontal. Okay, so these are all rows. They are horizontal and they represent unique records in a table. The columns or fields are in blue and they are vertical. So age, city, address, last name, and first name can be referred to as columns or fields in a table, while the rows here are referred to as records. So each record should be unique in a table. Next, I want to introduce you to the concept of a relational database. A relational database basically is a database where two or more tables are related. So I'm going to show you a quick illustration. So this is an illustration where we have several tables in the database. So this customers is one table, orders is one table, other items is another table, products is another table. So with a relational database, there must be relationship between two or more tables. If we take a look at the customers table here, we've got a customer ID, which is a column or a field in the customers table. We've also got a customer ID here, which is also a field or a column in the orders table. So you can see the dot representing the relationship because there's a customer ID there and there's a customer ID there. All right, if we look at this order items table and this order table, we've got an order ID, we've got an order ID. You can see the dot here representing the relationship. Likewise, we've got a table called products. You can see that we've got a product ID and we've also got a product ID in this order item. So you can see the dot here representing the relationship between the tables. Next, we're going to look at what a relational database management system is, also referred to as RDBMS for short. A relational database management system is basically a software that is used to manage databases. So there are several types of relational database management system depending on the vendor. Examples include Oracle, Microsoft, SQL Server, MySQL, PostgreSQL, and many others. Next, I'm going to introduce you to the concept of a primary key. A primary key basically is used to uniquely identify each record in a database. Most primary keys must contain unique values. That means a primary key cannot contain null value. A null value basically is a value that is not represented, is unknown. So there must be a record that identifies each record uniquely in a database table. Also, a table can have only one primary key, which can consist of a single or multiple fields. So again, looking at this illustration of a table, we can see here that where we've got PK represents a primary key. We're using the customer ID as a primary key to identify each record in the table. In this table, we're using the order ID as a primary key. The next concept is a foreign key. A foreign key basically is a key that is used to link two tables together. So a foreign key can also be a collection of fields in one table that refers to the primary key in another table. So again, using this illustration here, we've got in this table, for example, we've got customer ID as a primary key, while in this table called orders, we've got customer ID as the foreign key. So the table that contains the foreign key is called the child table, and the table containing the primary key is called the parent table. So in this case, the customer ID here, where we've got the primary key, is a parent table, while the customer ID here, where we've got the foreign key, is the child table. The next concept I want to introduce you to is constraints. Constraints basically are used to specify the rules you want your data to follow in a table. And when you are setting up constraints, you can actually implement it at the point of creating the table. So when you're creating a table, you can also implement different types of constraint. An example constraint you could implement, for example, in any of the fields, you could say you don't want the value to be null. Null basically means that a value that is not known. Say, for example, here, I can specify that the customer last name, I can place a constraint in this field and say the customer last name cannot be null. That means they must provide a name for the customer name. Without that, it will not allow the input for that column. So that's basically what a constraint means. There are different types of constraint you can use to specify different types of rules you want your data to follow in a table. So any data you input, you want a set of rules for that data to comply with. So that's it for this video. In this video, I introduced you to some key and basic database concepts. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.
Like and share this video, hit subscribe button, press the bell icon for any query, comment below.